I just completed a 5-month journey of surviving 1000 days in Minecraft Hardcore, and I think I created an incredible Minecraft world. To celebrate this huge milestone in my world, I had the very original idea to combine all of my footage from the series into one mega movie for you to enjoy. My name is Legend, and I hope you enjoy I Survived 1000 Days in Minecraft Hardcore. I died in my 400-day Minecraft Hardcore world, and to try to redeem myself, I'm going to attempt to build an entire city, complete with everything I need to survive, all in episode 1 of Minecraft Hardcore. Welcome to our brand new Minecraft Hardcore world, and after losing our last world a few months back, I am so excited to be on a fresh new 1.19 seed, and I've even found the perfect spot to build our city. But before we go there, I'd prefer to live past our first night, so we need to get geared up right away. Let's grab a little bit of stone. Now that we have stone tools, it's time to go look for some iron. I found some, but it was only 2 pieces, so we're gonna have to find some more. Is this a cave over here? Let's check. Looks like it, but does it go? Nope. Those sheep up there are reminding me we need to make a bed before, you know, it's too late and it's nighttime and we're dead. And best of all, there's some iron just over here. There's more right here. And now to craft our first iron tool. One thing we definitely need is a shield. Also, a sword will be great. And last but not least, a shovel. Here it is, the perfect building location. This area is incredible, and it looks even better with this giant mountain we're standing on right now in the background. I mean, just look at this place. This is such a perfect location, and I'm not just gonna build a tiny little starter base like most other people. I'm gonna build an entire city. But before we do that, we need to get some armor, and we need to build a tiny little starter base. You're probably wondering, why would I bother building this tiny little house when we're just gonna build a big city later on? Well, that's gonna take a lot of resources, and this will be the perfect place to store them. But before we do anything else, we need to figure out what blocks we're going to be building with and what we're going to build. So I'm going to head over to my creative test world. This is the world I've used for the last 4 years to design almost every single thing I've built in the survival worlds. I have builds from old series, builds from competitions I took part in. I really like this one. And even just builds I've never really shown in any of my videos. But there's a ton of stuff here. And this is the perfect place to find inspiration for the city. There's quite a bit of open space over here, so I think this is a great place to design it. First of all, we're going to keep the same 3 wood types we used for our starter base, and I think that'll help tie the whole area together. I also want to try to incorporate all the different types of stone Minecraft now has. And if possible, I really want to try to include some terracotta. I think that would really add a lot of color to the otherwise pretty monotone colorless builds. Alright, we're back. Now that means we can start gathering the resources because we know exactly what we need to gather. Let's start by mining a bunch of all the different stone types. I wasn't even looking for diamonds, I was just trying to mine deep slate, but let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So when I started digging my strip mine down, I actually ran into this cave, and I was just lighting it up a bit, and then I went this way and I saw this. There's an entire ancient city right under our base, and I kind of want to go for that chest. This could be a mistake. You can see I was here already, but I did not go any further. We're just gonna slowly sneak over there. I'm not taking any risks. Alright, we just got that advancement, which means if we make noise now, we're gonna trigger a skulk sensor. Alright, let's open the junk. It's just nothing. That's exactly what I wanted out of a chest. Do we push our luck and look for more? I don't know. Okay. Oh no, and now it's our time to get out of here. Whew. That means I can break this one too. Oh, we're safe. Why am I taking so many risks? Because of that. That is why I'm taking so many risks. This is some great loot here. That's Shrieker number 2. I'm gonna head towards the exit. That's number 3. That's number 3. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. That was terrifying. So, we've got quite a few resources. I mean, this is a good start, but I want to turn my attention towards getting resources like terracotta and stuff from the mangrove swamps, which both are actually near the same area, a few thousand blocks away. So I think rather than journeying all the way there on foot, we need to maybe make 2 nether portals. That sounds a little risky, but it'll be so much faster. So after traveling a few hundred blocks in the nether, we were able to make a portal and land in an area with not only a jungle, but also a mesa and a mangrove swamp, all 3 of which I'll need to build my city. Now we just need one more resource, wheat, so we can make as much packed mud as we'll ever need. So I planted some quick fields outside our house. I have fields planted, trees grown, and resources collected. This means we can at least begin work on our city. And I think the first thing we need to build is a little bit of upgrade to these furnaces. I want to build a blacksmith where we can store all our furnaces, our anvil, and stuff like that. The blacksmith build is done, and this is actually a pretty nice build. Although it's one of the smaller ones, there's this nice little area out here where we can put different stuff like that. And inside, there's quite a bit of room in here for some furnaces and stuff. Now we need to move on to the next build, and I have 2 or 3 builds plotted out over here. But I think actually the first one I want to do is this one, which is a library. Our second build is done. This is like a library sort of thing, and in here you can see it's completely empty because eventually this is where we're going to put our enchantment setup and maybe like a mending villager or something. But for now, I want to focus on this like town center area. I want to put a well here and a bunch of little details. So let's start that stuff now. With our nice central area worked out, we can work on a few more houses, and if we go up here you can see some of the plans we had for this upper section of the city. And so far, and there's pillagers. As I was saying, we have 2 more houses planned up here. This house was just a general house I don't really have a big use for. This might be where I end up living. And this one up here is probably the biggest one, my storage room, and there's tons of space in there for chests. But that one's gonna be a little bit of a bigger project for later on in the episode. Right now, let's just build this one. And there's our third build, but there's a bit of a problem. Right now, it's just up here all alone. We need to connect it back down to there. With all the paths in place, it's now time to fill in the open areas with houses. Real quick, I've already put like 30 hours into this video, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be great. So I've added a few more little houses to try to fill up the area, and I think it's looking pretty good. It's actually starting to turn into a city. Unfortunately, you see there's still a lot of empty spots that kind of just like make everything feel more disconnected. So my goal right now is to fill in all these empty spots with details so we can prepare for the final build. First, let's build a market stand up here. I actually think a tree would be perfect, maybe like right over here. Let's try. I think this tree's pretty good. I'm not really happy with this like terraforming over here, and it's hard to get right. So I think what might be good here is maybe like a retaining wall. I think this actually works out pretty well up here, but I've realized as the sun sets, this area is actually pretty dark. So I think I'm gonna try to build some lampposts. Many details later, our little city here is at a point where I think we're about done, which means we are ready to begin the biggest build out of them all, up here on top of the hill, the storage build. Let's finish this. And with that, our Minecraft city is done. In only one episode and over 130 days, we managed to transform this entire area into a massive city. Although, it'll probably never be done, there's always more to do, always more builds to add, always more details. I think this is at a great place, and I'm very proud of what we managed to accomplish here. All that to say, thank you guys so much for watching, subscribe, and watch episode 2. After building a huge city in the last episode, our tools and armor are destroyed and I'm in huge need of iron. So, in this video, I'm going to build a giant castle to house an iron farm, all in Minecraft Hardcore. Welcome back to episode 2 of Minecraft Hardcore. In our last episode, we built this entire city, and since then, I have finished one of the most important houses up here. This is our storage room, and we've actually finished it. Inside, you can see we now have storage for pretty much everything we'll ever need, for now. But my main focus today is on building a giant castle, and I'm not going to do it with iron tools and armor. We need an upgrade. To get enchanted gear and more diamonds, we're going to need a lot of XP. So let's go ahead and build a skeleton grinder for all the XP we'll ever need. I found it. It's just down here, but this skeleton will not leave me alone. And quickly light this up with these soul torches I found in the deep dark. Now we just need to dig a big hole. We now have a skeleton grinder, which is great because we need bones and XP very, very bad. And now that we have a source of XP, that means that we can get an enchanted pickaxe so we can do a lot more diamond mining. Let's have a go. Let's see if Unbreaking 3 will do this. Hopefully it's fortune, because that's what... that's good, but not quite what I wanted. Let's try again. And... nope, even worse. Attempt 3 is success, kind of. I do have a lot of XP levels. Maybe I could try to get better? One more try, hopefully, and oh, this is gonna be a while. That just gave me a pretty decent silk touch pickaxe. I think I'll just craft a new pickaxe because I want to keep this one. There it is, the enchantments we wanted. Perfect. Now we can do some diamond mining. Over a stack of diamonds collected in only like 20 or 30 minutes. That's perfect. So what this means is we can now head back to the skeleton grinder and begin working on getting full enchanted gear. This is actually the hard part. Enchanting gear takes a long time, but we finally did it. We finally have full enchanted diamond armor and full tools, including a fortune and a silk touch pickaxe. And I've already picked out a location for the castle to go, and I'll show you that in a second. But right now, we need to hop into our creative test world and actually design this thing, because I need to know exactly what blocks to gather and what I'm going to spend the next few hours of my life doing. Oh boy. We're back in the creative test world, the perfect spot to design our castle. We've got to keep in mind that we're building in the snow, so we need blocks that kind of match with it. Like deep slate looks good with it. Also the diorite and the calcite complement it nicely. And I think andesite is not bad either. And obviously it wouldn't be one of my builds without spruce, so we're going to include that. And we're also going to add some granite, dripstone, and actually the pointed dripstone. That seems like something you couldn't really build with, but you'll see what I do. Also, this blue terracotta looks pretty good. I'm not sure if this is what we're going to go with or not, but I don't hate it. Now let's try to use wool to figure out a layout for the build. So first, over here, I want to have kind of like an entryway with two big towers just like that. I think that looks pretty good. This one's going to be tricky to build, but I do have kind of an idea for that. Repeat that process and we have a nice little layout here for our castle. Now we've got to figure out like heights and stuff. Now we have this castle layout mostly worked out. That means we can begin to detail it. And I did, but you're gonna have to wait till the end to see that. Now that we designed that, we have a long list of materials we need to collect. Calcite, granite, mud, stuff like that. So I think the best thing we can do right now is head down into the caves and mine up a bunch of different stones, because we're gonna need a lot for the build. One of the more annoying blocks we have to find is actually in the Nether, which is someplace I really don't want to go today. Hey, we're in the Warp Forest. I got the achievement. Yeah, so this seems perfectly safe. I'm just gonna get some warped wood. And the fortress is just over there. Maybe we'll have to come back there next episode. Unfortunately, the next block we need is packed mud, which requires mud and wheat just to make one single block, which means we need to extend our wheat field and mine a ton of mud. And it's a good thing we extended the field because we need a lot of wheat, because every block of packed mud requires wheat, which is extremely expensive. Next, I journeyed over to the Dark Oak Forest where we mined some easier blocks. We've actually managed to gather quite a few of the resources quicker than I expected. However, there's one we need a lot of that's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's this guy, the sheep. We need a lot of wool. And I was hoping there was more than one sheep here. I was planning to breed up just a ton of sheep and shear them, but then I realized why not just make a wool farm? I mean, it'll really come in handy a little later on. And they're not too difficult to make either. Why is this cow will not go? I can use my powerful new sword on it. There we go. Now we just need to find another one of you. Our two sheep are now in place, and now that they've bred, before long we'll have plenty of sheep to stock our farm. But in the meantime, let's gather resources for the farm. I need quartz for 16 observers, 16 bows for 16 dispensers. This is a relatively simple farm. I built it in the past, but it'll give us all the wool we'll ever need. Now for the fun part. We gotta get all these sheep into the big machine. Come on, this way. Okay. Oh boy. We have all the sheep in place now. Now we just need to dye them. And with all the shears in place, let's do a short little AFK session and see how much wool we can get. Let's see how much wool. Oh, that's not too bad. That's actually quite a bit of wool, more than I thought. It's about, let's see how many stacks of white wool it is, because that's what we need. It's a little over 2 stacks so far, which it's about half of what we need. But if we just spend time around this area, I think we're gonna have plenty. Now there's only one more farm we need until we can build the castle. That is a villager breeder. We need that because we're gonna need villagers for the iron farm later on. The build, however, was the easy part because we somehow have to get villagers all the way over here. At first I thought that I was gonna have to transport them all the way from a village, which is like a few hundred blocks away, until I found this. An igloo just next to our base. I mean, you can literally see our houses over here. This still probably warrants nether portal transportation, but it'll be so much easier to do. And as I'm sure you know, there are 2 villagers right under the igloo in the basement, and we can actually cure the zombie one because everything we need to cure it is right here. There we go. Now as he begins to cure, we can set up another portal in here, I guess. This is definitely gonna go horribly. Let's hope the villagers just follow me right into the port. Okay. Okay, they're both in. Please work. Please work. Please work. How do I get them to follow me? Come on, almost there. And go to the portal, yes. And we got him. I think there should be 2 villagers in here now. Please tell me this has worked. Yes, it did. They're both farmers. It worked perfectly. We only have one more block type to gather, but it's the most dangerous of them all. You'll see. Prismarine. The unfortunate part of that is that the only way to get it is in ocean monuments, which is not going to be fun. How do we do this? I'm just going to stay as far away from where I know the Elder Guardians are and just dive under like this. Then we can maybe break into a sponge room. What? Okay, that's actually pretty lucky. And I shouldn't have bothered with the sponges. Now we have mining fatigue, and I forgot a milk bucket. We're gonna have to go find a cow and maybe some iron up on the surface, because we're quite far away. This time I'm bringing a cow. Let's see if this goes a little bit better. Okay, this is going not as great. That's a lot of damage. Just want to go back in here. Hopefully we can mine a bunch of this prismarine before it's too late. That's not good. Alright, I think that should be finally enough. Let's head back before one of these guardians kill us. That was way too close. Now it's time to finally build the castle, starting with this amazing front gate wall entrance thing. Then I started the next building, which is a mud granite mix with a very nice blue roof. Then I went ahead and made another mud structure, this time with a really cool deep slate like spiked roof. Then we just need to add a few more builds. And finally, the throne room. The build is finally finished. Even though that was a 30-second time lapse, that was hours of work, but I think it was very worth it. Look how this thing turned out, and there's tons of space on the inside to do whatever as well. Let's get a quick overhead, and you can see just the scale of this thing is actually pretty crazy for episode 2. But there's something I didn't show you. Remember the iron farm? Yeah, I built it already. It took a long time. It'd make a very boring time lapse to show you how I built this, so I'll just show you. It's been working great. We already have 4 stacks, and I've barely even been around here. However, that means our goals for the video are complete. We've now got full diamond armor, unlimited iron, and of course, a mega castle to defend my world. This is taking me over 150 days to complete, and if you made it this far, maybe you could consider subscribing. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 3. I've already survived over 300 days in Minecraft Hardcore, and I think it's time for an upgrade. In this video, I want to become invincible, and I have two options. I could either take the safe option and build a raid farm for totems, or I can head to the nether and use explosive beds to mine for netherite. But that would be extremely dangerous. Why would I ever? So I've decided to do the netherite mining first. Yeah, there's absolutely no way this goes well. Place this. This can't go well. Oh, okay. Okay, that actually wasn't too bad, but wasn't that supposed to blow up like way more stuff? Alright, I think I found somewhere with no big lava pools nearby, so let's try digging down over here. So we've done this before, it shouldn't be too bad. Place that, and nothing. Alright, now we just begin the long grind of constantly blowing up beds, trying to get enough ancient debris. Finally something. That was like 5 beds though. And 5 beds might not sound like a lot, but we have to get 36 ancient debris in order to upgrade all our tools and armor. That was a lot of beds for 3 ancient debris. I have a feeling that was very unlucky. So let's try to get a different bed color and come back again. Have you checked to see if you're subscribed lately? I'm working on a mega project in this hardcore world, but I'm not posting the video until we hit 10,000 subscribers. It's gonna be the craziest video I've ever done, and you don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe. Anyways, back to netherite mining. I don't even want to tell you how many hours this took. After all that, we now have 36 pieces of ancient debris, which melts down perfectly into the 5 pieces of netherite we need. So if we throw this in a furnace, before long, we'll have full netherite armor. Now with our 36 netherite scrap and a bunch of gold as well, we can craft 9 netherite ingots, which then we will add to our armor on the smithing table. There we go. We are now much stronger, and that feels great. However, our only problem is our armor is pretty destroyed from all that netherite mining, and the only way we can repair it is by getting new armor or getting mending. Using mending, we'll be able to repair our armor, but to get mending books, we're gonna need villagers, librarian villagers, and thanks to our last episode, we have plenty. So real quick here, let's design a little bit of a house to store all of our villagers for trading. Now that we have somewhere to put them, let's use this rail line. Come back here. Let's just use this rail line to get the villager all the way into the build. And now we have villagers. One for unbreaking, one for efficiency 5, and one for mending. The 3 main books we need. However, they're extremely expensive, which is why we are here at a nether fortress. And the reason I want to come here is to get potions, because if we want to lower the villagers' trades, we have to zombify them and then cure them with potions. So first we need to kill off a few blazes. Now we can use the blaze rods to brew some potions of weakness to splash on the zombies. But before we can cure the villagers, we need to turn them into zombies first, which means we need to find a zombie in the first place. Yep, here's a couple right now. Now he's down there with the villagers, so we just need to back away so he de-aggroes on us. So that did not go great. Thankfully, our 3 librarian villagers are still around, but the farmers, they kind of got loose and it burnt to death. Alright, now we gotta go ahead and get a bunch of these mending books. He just stole one. Put these on all my armor. All of our armor is finally enchanted, which means we can finally start working on a raid farm. However, there's just one problem. I'm running very low on food. However, I think I have a solution. This is a hoglin farm, the solution to all our food problems. This will pretty much produce us infinite pork chops, and not only that, it's also going to give us leather, which is amazing. So let me just sit up here for a few hours, or however nether time works, I'm not quite sure. After a little bit of AFKing, let's see how much food we got, and not bad. We actually got quite a few stacks here, and we can AFK whenever we want. Now we can finally begin building our raid farm. However, in order to build the raid farm, we're going to need 1 villager, so I need to grab a villager from down here and transport him with me all the way over to near the pillager outpost. This journey is going to take a little while. I think we're a pretty good distance away from our base, so let's just build the farm. Our first step is going to be mining a 1x3 block hole into the ground. Then we're going to dig 7 blocks in every direction. Next, we can connect all the sides into like a diamond shape. Now we can just dig out the inside of the diamond. Now we can dig out a hole in the ground for the villager, leave just enough space for him in there. We're gonna place a bed and then cover it right up. We won't have to worry about him ever again. Now we're gonna go around the outline of our farm placing slabs, which leaves us just enough room to put the water in place. With all the water in place, we're now gonna dig down 27 blocks. And down here, I've built a little room with some hoppers and chests to get all the items. And after placing some lava for the Ravengers on top, I think the farm is ready. I'm honestly a little bit nervous because this could go very, very wrong. Our first step is to actually get the bad omen effect, which we can only get by killing a raid captain, which should hopefully be over here in this pillager outpost. I'm only going to kill one for right now, and I'm just going to test the machine with a level 1 raid. Hopefully that should be fine. Alright, we're about to start the raid. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. I'm very, very nervous. I do not want anything to go wrong here, because, here's the raid. It has started. Let's get down there as quickly as we can. I'm going to hop in free cam right now so we can maybe see what's going on with the raid and see if it works. It looks like they're running right towards it, I think. This might actually work. Yes, they're all falling into the machine. This is perfect. Once again, it seems to be working great for round 2. There we go, we beat the raid, and from one raid we get 4 totems. That's not bad at all. However, there's just one problem now. Look at this farm. It's extremely ugly. It's an eyesore for this whole area, which I eventually want to transform. So why don't we transform this raid farm now into something that looks a little bit nicer? And I was thinking, rather than building another house or a castle, what if we build some sort of ancient ruins? I think that looked pretty cool. And real quick, I needed to stop underground to grab a bunch of tuff. Hold on, I forgot all about this. Let me go grab some wool. Hear me out, I think we need to test all our new overpowered gear. So, I'm gonna get sidetracked from that building project real quick and maybe try to go for a Swift Sneak book. This could be an extremely bad idea and we could lose all of our progress in about a second. Alright, so if we walk on the wool up here, we should be relatively safe. Oh no, that was really stupid of me. I accidentally lit off one of the shriekers. So we're gonna play it extra careful from... The warden's not gonna spawn, is it? Oh no, what? I stepped on it. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna approach the center of the city, which is probably not the best idea when we're one noise away from summoning the warden, but I'm gonna try to be extremely careful from here on out. And Swift Sneak 3, yes, finally, now we can leave. And a great hoe. I'll take it. Now we can apply Swift Sneak 3 to... I'm incredibly stupid. I forgot. It's a pants enchantment now. I don't know why I keep thinking it's boots. Let's add that to our pants. And now we should be able to sneak fast. And look at us go. What were we doing? Oh, right. We were going to build something around this raid farm. I have no clue what I'm going to do. So let's just time-lapse this. And here's what I ended up with. It's not bad, is it? It's just a whole bunch of ruins to make it look like maybe there's a building here at one point or some sort of castle, but clearly it's been a while. And with that, I've completed my goal of becoming almost invincible in Minecraft Hardcore, which means we can begin working on some of my huge plans for this world, including my 10,000 subscriber special. And if you want to see that, you've got to subscribe so we can hit that 10K mark. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 4. Here's me about to defeat the Ender Dragon in my Minecraft Hardcore world just to build one of Minecraft's most dangerous farms. Why? Well, I'll explain in a second, but first we have a dragon to deal with. And I really don't want to lose my 400 days of progress in this world, so I'd rather not die here. And first try. First try. First try. All the crystals are gone. Now let's kill this dragon. Oh no. And come on, come on. Yes. And now that we've killed the Ender Dragon, we have access to the Elytra, which is super duper important, especially because today I'm going to try to build 10 of Minecraft's most powerful farms, which is not exactly going to be easy. Anyways, let's use this gateway and try to find an end city. This is what scares me. If I fall right now, it doesn't matter how many totems I have, this world is gone. Finally! Finally, please tell me this one has an end ship. It does, yes, finally we can get an Elytra. And with that, we can use our brand new Elytra to get back to the main island. Now that we have an Elytra, we can head back to the overworld real quick and grab the resources we need for our first farm, the Enderman farm. Okay, let's build this thing. This is gonna be one of the more dangerous farms we have to build today. I'm gonna start by pouring some lava down here. Now we've just got to pillar out a ways with our leaves. This should be pretty easy with Swift Sneak. And about 100 blocks out, we just have to build the farm. This farm is very loud, but it works great and it gives us a ton of XP. And isn't this noise just the best? Farm number 2 is going to solve one of our biggest problems right now. We have an Elytra and that's great, but we don't have any fireworks to go along with it. Fireworks require gunpowder and paper is crafted with sugarcane, so of course, we need to build a sugarcane farm. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig this 5x4 tunnel out really far so we can have tons of sugarcane. With the tunnel cleared out, we can make use of some water streams to eventually transport the sugarcane. So we're just going to place a sign, then let the water flow down. And now if I just throw any item in here, it should flow all the way to the end. Now we've actually got to place down a bunch of dirt. Now we can go ahead and add all the sugarcane. Then we've got to go behind all these, placing the pistons. Then we can add all the observers, just like, not like that. Then we can add all the observers, just like this. The sugarcane farm is done, and it's very simple. However, it is producing us quite a bit of sugarcane. And now to call this farm complete, we need to build something right on top of it. With our sugarcane farm done, we can now begin work on our third farm, a gunpowder farm or a creeper farm, and it takes quite a few resources. Thankfully, we have them all collected in these brand new shulker boxes. So let's find an area to build. I was thinking probably down there. I think that'll work. So we'll place down these shulker boxes and begin the build. The creeper farm is done, and to be honest, it's not too much to look at. It's just a stone brick box. Obviously, I'm not going to leave it like this, but I can't imagine I'm going to get around to finishing this in this episode. However, I do have plans for the AFK platform. I want to build a giant hot air balloon, actually 3 of them, for some reason. These 3 balloons look great, and they add quite a bit to our world. Plus, this green one up here is the perfect location to, I can't get up there, to AFK at the gunpowder farm. For our next farm, let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. In our next episode, I'm going to be transforming this huge cave, which I've already lit up. And if I'm going to be building stuff in here, I might as well put some farms in here to build around. So I think our next farm will be a cobblestone farm, a TNT powered one, and it'll go right in this area. But first, I think for some reason we should cover the entire ground with moss. I think that could look cool. Believe it or not, that was incredibly time consuming, but look at this. It already looks completely different and so much better. Now we need to build that cobblestone farm. First off, we need a ton of lava, a bunch of random stuff like warp trap doors, a whole lot of obsidian. To build a TNT duper, we need 1 coral fan, slime, and here's the part where I build the farm, except the footage corrupted, so I think the farm should be done. I've never built a TNT duper like this before, so this could go very wrong. If I misplace anything, this is just gonna blow itself up. Let's see what what? I rebuilt the redstone system. It should work this time? Maybe? Wait, it's actually working. What? I ran the machine for just a little while, and look how much cobblestone we have. 2 almost full chests and another one, which is probably all the cobblestone we'll need for a long time. And with the cobblestone farm complete, we can now move on to farm number 5, which is a very important farm because I kind of used up all of my moss transforming this cave, so I think we need to build a moss farm. This should be pretty quick and hopefully pretty easy. Not only is the moss farm complete, but it is also working great. We already have a full chest here full of moss, all the moss we'll ever need, and it's producing itself bone meal, which is basically just going to replenish all the bone meal that it costs to use this thing. And obviously, I'm also going to cover up this farm. It is extremely ugly. And you know how we're building 10 different farms? Well, farm number 10 is going to be by far the hardest. I'm going to try to build a tree farm. Tree farms are extremely tricky and require a lot of materials. Some of the materials we can actually farm. One of them being honey blocks, which is actually a pretty simple farm to set up. It's a pretty simple farm, but it seems to be working. Now we just have one thing left to do with this farm. We need to build something around it. Our build for the bee farm is done. It's sort of like a greenhouse thing. It's pretty simple, but it does the job. With the honey farm complete, I want to move on to a few simpler farms before we take on big farms like slime farms and the tree farm at the end. Right now, I think we can build a cactus farm, but I'm not quite sure where I'm going to build it. Probably just right next to the honey farm. Yeah, there's a pretty open spot right here. Let's just build it here. This is probably the simplest farm I'll ever build, but for now, I think we need to work on farm number 8, which is actually kind of a strange one. It's pumpkin and melon farm. I guess that's not really strange on its own, but the reason I need it for the tree farm. That's right, the tree farm needs a ton of melons for some reason. And here we have yet another simple farm complete, and this is passively gonna produce pumpkins and melons, which is great. However, now we need to move on to the 2 hardest farms of this entire video, the slime farm and the tree farm. The slime farm, there's 2 different designs we could really do, but I think I'm gonna do one that involves us heading to a swamp. But before we fly over there, for some reason this farm needs a bunch of brown mushrooms, so I guess we gotta gather those. And after gathering the mushrooms, there's a ton of random blocks I had to gather, but now we have everything we need, which means we can fly over to a swamp biome and begin the slime farm. Look at this, the farm worked great, and now we have so much slime which we can take back with us. But with that farm complete, you know what it's time for, our final farm, the hardest of them all, the easiest to break, the tree farm. After building all these farms, gathering the resources was pretty easy, which means you know what it's time for, one final time lapse. I am extremely terrified to turn on this farm. If anything goes wrong, I literally have to rebuild the entire thing, which would not exactly be fun. So we're gonna start with the TNT duper. If I press this button, it's gonna start the duper, and hopefully it doesn't blow itself up. Yes, it works. It actually works. And now I can turn on this here, and it's not working. What did I do wrong? And with a few quick fixes, the tree farm works great. There's a few things in here we need to grab, but we've already produced a ton of wood. And with that, we can check all 10 farms off the list. We've finally done it. And that puts us on day 571. I don't even know how long I spent on this video, but if you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in episode 5. My Minecraft hardcore world is quickly approaching 1,000 days, and my goal by then is to completely finish my first city. And, well, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Yeah, I spent an entire month on this one video. It's such a great idea. My first issue is that I really hated how the terrain looked in this area, so I decided it would be a good idea to terraform this huge area, and it took a couple days on its own. That took a crazy amount of time just to flatten out this little area here, but this gives us a great area to build our farming village, a bunch of farms and stuff like that. But first of all, to kind of lay out where everything's gonna go, I think the best way we can do that is by extending our mud paths all the way around. I've got tons of mud, even more in my storage room, and I think we should lay out a bunch of paths here to kind of figure out how exactly we're gonna be building this. Laying out paths like that is actually really helpful because now we can see exactly kind of what I'm going for. There's going to be tons of fields as well as small villages and like a windmill or something. I'm not quite sure yet. But the only way I was able to have this much packed mud is because of something I did in the last episode that I actually cut out of the video. Inside the basement of our storage room, you can see that there is a room down here with a wheat farm, an alley powered wheat farm, which I didn't actually show in the video because it didn't work. It didn't work at first because I think the villagers could still pick up the wheat or something, but at the time it was completely broken. But now it's actually producing quite a bit of wheat. To get back on focus though, I think I'm going to continue on in this area. I think I'm going to use the mangrove roots to sort of lay out some fences that we're going to use to plant our fields in. These 5 plots here seem like a great start for our farming area, but first, before we build anything, I want to lay out a few houses. There's going to be a small little farming village over here, and maybe even some separate farming houses, so let's use this red wool and mark some stuff out. As you can see, I want to build a few houses over here, a few other scattered houses, and a windmill, but I'm not sure exactly how that windmill is gonna go. Like, I want to cover up this creeper farm, but then again, trying to build something out of this giant box is gonna be very difficult, and I probably have to terraform or something, and I'd kind of rather do one this size. I'm gonna have to kind of work out if I'm gonna do something with this, which is probably the option I have to go with. I don't know, that's going to be kind of a challenge to design something around that. Especially something that scales with all these other houses, because this is huge compared to the other houses I've built in this area so far. But I want to stall on doing that for as long as possible, so I'm going to actually plant some crops in our crop fields. I feel like that's pretty important. So we'll start with a wheat field over here, maybe some carrot farms, potato farms, flower farms. Let's see what we can do with this area to try to add color and life. I built the wheat field and also a tree for some reason. I think this looks pretty good. I'm really trying to work on building trees recently because I'm not that great at it. But I think it turned out alright, as well as the wheat field, which looks great with this 2 tall wheat. And to be honest, these fields are going to be a great way to fill up this area. Another field I want to try to build is this field over here. I'm going to try to build a little flower field with these flowers here. These lilac flowers. But I think let's replace the ground first. Now let's place down these. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, but if we're doing this whole area now, I might as well build this little farmhouse over here before we move on to any more crop fields. Not only did I add that house, but I also added a bunch of other details to really bring this area to life, and I think it adds so much to our world. Like this tree. I'm not great at building trees, but I think this turned out pretty good. I've honestly never built any trees like this, so this is a first for me. As well as I added a second field here because I didn't feel like I really filled up the area enough. Our little farmhouse over here is very, very simple, but I think it fits into this area pretty well, and I'm sort of going to build more like those over here, which I think we could actually do right now. Let's build 3 more of those little houses right in this area, kind of keeping to the same style. Let's see how they turn out. And as you've seen in the time lapse, I spent the last couple days building and detailing this little village over here. I don't even know if you could call this a village of 3 farming houses. They're all very similar in style. They use slightly different roofs, but I think this is a nice little touch to this whole area that we're transforming. I've also been trying to add in a few custom trees like this where I can, and I think it adds quite a bit to the area. Now I think we'll take a break from building houses and add these 3 more fields here to really get an idea of how this whole area is going to turn out. Well, planting these 2 new fields, which look great by the way, there was one thing on my mind. This stone box over here. This thing is kind of a problem for me. On the one hand, I really don't want to destroy this. These things take forever to make it. It's producing me a ton of gunpowder. Plus, I have a great AFK platform for it. But on the other hand, it's impossible to build anything here. I mean, unless I wanted to terraform a huge mountain over it, which just doesn't sound fun and it doesn't seem necessary. To be honest, I think the best thing we can do is tear it down, which this is just a good lesson, I guess. I need to really be smart about where I put my farms in the future, because I gotta realize I gotta build something over all of these. Hold on, this is a gunpowder farm. I know a great way to destroy it. Now this couldn't go wrong, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. Wow, these are some strong trapdoors. They completely block the blast. Let's just... Why did I do that? Why did I do... Okay, we're out of here. That worked alright, I guess. There's still a lot to do. With that ugly stone box removed, we now have space to build something here. And I think I'm gonna put a windmill here. So let's do that right now. I think that windmill design turned out great. However, there's still a lot of land around here that needs to be detailed, and I actually want to add maybe a house or 2 in this area. So first, let's lay out some paths. With the paths laid out, let's try to add as much detail to this area as we can. A few trees, a cart, and a little bit of grass over here later, and we've detailed out this area. It's very simple, but I think it looks so much better than just being plain grass. And I think there's just one final thing we have to do for this whole area here. There's one open spot right there, which I think I'm gonna put a little house here. With this house added in here, we've really filled up this area, and I think what we've done today has added so much to our world. I'm extremely proud of what I've done here in this world in the last month. Our world is at 800 days, which means we are so close to hitting my goal of... Wait, what is this? This wasn't here yesterday. What is this? It looks like a portal. It looks so familiar. What is this? So if it's a portal, right? Should I go through it? That seems like a good idea. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Where am I? Oh, my old hardcore world? I'm back? I never thought I'd see this place again, and I'm alive. I'm alive? How is that possible? I died in this world like 4 months ago. It's all still here, and you guys didn't even see most of this because I died before I could post the video. And it's still here? Oh yes, it is. I never thought I'd see this again. I thought it was gone forever. My mind is still here. It still goes all the way down here. I just never got to use. That was close. How did I already almost die in this world? But what does this mean? Does this mean can I just continue? Can I keep playing? Can I finish what I wanted to start in this world? Maybe? But What about my last world? I want to go back. Where am I now? What is this? It's a cat. What is this portal? This is definitely not my hardcore world or anything I've built, and what is this? What is this? I'm telling you right now, I did not build that. I'm back. Yes, it worked. I'm finally. Wait a minute. Where's all my builds and what? Oh no. This is not how I left the world. This has got to be like hundreds and hundreds of days ago. What happened? Did I just lose all my progress? I don't even have an elytra yet. I can't even see how much of the world is built. And I can't even get back. The rift is just gone. Maybe I'll be teleported out of this one too? I've just gotta wait long enough. Well, when does it happen? Anytime now. Nothing's happening. Maybe the rift is back here somewhere. Maybe it's this better work. There gotta be something, right? What do I do? I don't even know. Wait. We're back. We're actually back. This is my current hardcore world, and what happened? What happened to the rift? Did it close? What happened? Oh, I guess that's fine. I don't want to worry about this thing anyways. This seems extremely dangerous. I don't want to lose this world. Not to whatever that thing is. My storage room in Minecraft Hardcore is a huge mess. We definitely need a new one. In this video, I'm going to build a mega storage room, capture one of Minecraft's rarest mobs, and finally enter the mysterious rift we found in the last episode. This is going to be crazy. The first thing we need to do is grab some wool and mark out the area for our build. And before we can even do that, I need to clear up this terrain. Now let's use that wool to mark out the shape of our build. Let me show you what we've got so far over here. As you can see, I've laid out 4 or 5 different buildings here, which are each going to store different items for our storage system. But now, you may notice that this is kind of a floating plan at the minute, because I'm actually going to try to raise up all the ground and use some packed mud to try to make a little area here to surround our storage room. So let's do that right now. We need to get a ton of packed mud over here in our storage room, our current messy storage room. We have plenty, but we can just grab a ton of this packed mud and see what we can do. The terraforming for this area is mostly complete now. I've just put a ton of mud around here, which is going to be a perfect base to build up this whole storage area. And I also we're going to make a little entrance here down to our cave, which we made a few episodes ago, because I finally have some inspiration for what to do down here. Once I clean it up a little bit, maybe we can even work on it in the next episode. But now, can we fly up out of here through that same hole? Let's see. And perfect. Now, I think we need to get started with some of the buildings around this area, starting with this building right here. I was going to keep going and build a few more of the houses, but we are about to hit 10,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So I think for the first time ever, I'm about to live stream. We'll see how this goes. You guys ready? Come on, somebody subscribe. We did it! We just hit 10,000 subscribers, 8:06 p.m. We just did it. Wow, I don't know how to feel. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. It really means so much that 10,000 people thought my videos were good enough to subscribe. Thank you so much. Make a village? That's kind of what that is up there. Outpost where the tree is. I was thinking of like a tower or something to look over the world. I finished the tower, and it's relatively simple. I think it uses a nice combination of colors, the light blue, the yellow, and the sandstone, to give us a nice little watchtower here where we can look over our world and remember the huge milestone we hit a few days ago. And with that built, I think we need to continue on our storage room, because my storage room right now, is getting more and more messy by the second, and I'm actually scared because there's a chest monster growing. I guess it's not too bad, but there's a lot of just mess here that really needs a place to go. So let's build this building right here. This one's interesting because it's a diagonal. I was building this and I just remembered something. Today is Halloween, which means we got pumpkin mobs, and we can only get them for a few more hours, so I've got to be kind of quick here. I'm not quite sure what to do exactly. Do they despawn with the pumpkins on? I'm not positive, but we're gonna grab a couple of boats here and try to grab as many of these guys as we can. What is going on? What is going on with this? I think fresh animations is a little bit glitched out at the moment. That is scary. My goal at the moment is to try to collect as many different kinds of these as we can. So I think the best way to do that is just to go into caves and capture them in boats, just like this. Halloween is over, and I managed to capture a ton of the pumpkin-faced zombies and skeletons. However, I realized something. You can just put the pumpkins on their head, so they're not actually that rare. There's only one mob now that's actually very rare, which is down here, I believe. One of these guys, yes, this guy, is the rarest mob in my entire world, because he's the only one with a light-up like jack-o'-lantern, which you can't put on their head. So we gotta make sure that guy does not die at any cost. Not to mention, I finished this. I finished the second part of our storage room, which looks great, and it gives us a lot more storage. Unlike the other ones, this one is diagonal, which makes it interesting, but this is still a great way to store some items. And now, I think we finish off the last few parts of this build, so we can fill it with our way too many items. You just watched a ton of progress. Not only did we add this new tower, this little house over here, but we also finished the final section of our storage over here, which gives us a bunch more chests in this area. We still need to add a lot of detail to this courtyard area, but first I think we need to get rid of all these chests, as well as all the messy storage inside of our old storage room. So I think it's time to sort it all. This is gonna take a long time. After a couple hours of sorting, I managed to get all of our different items into different places in the storage room. And what's great is I even have a data pack installed here, which allows me to make item frames invisible, which I think makes it look so much better and easier to open the chests. There's just one more thing we have to do to this area first. We need to add a bunch of detail, like carts and a well here. There we have it. With a little bit more detail, this area is looking amazing. And this has got to be one of my favorite builds in the world. And that's where my most recent episode ended. That's right, I didn't make it to 1,000 days yet, because you're about to see exclusive footage, a couple time lapses of what I did with the final few days left in my hardcore world before I hit day 1,000. There was still one area of my world that really needed attention. The back area near the storage room, between the storage room and the castle, there's a pretty much open space. But before I tackled that, I built a mini field there. And the first thing I did to section off the area is to build a little river, and there's hardly any other water source in my world, so maybe this will explain how they get water. From there, I just had to build a few more paths, houses, and before I knew it, day 1000 was here. I hope you have enjoyed the series as of now, and, well, obviously we're not done. I have so much more I want to do in this world. But I'm gonna be probably taking a little break from the world to work on some other stuff, another series, for at least the rest of the year, which is only like less than a month now. As I've said many times, I'm extremely proud of this world and everything we've managed to accomplish here. I've hit 10,000 subscribers in this world. This is my longest world by far. I've literally built the world I dreamed of building 5 months ago when I started the series, all the way back in July. And even though we probably won't see this world for a little while at least, just know that there is tons more content coming your way, especially next month, where I'm going to be doing something I'm honestly a little bit nervous to do, but I think is going to be amazing. So make sure you guys stick around and subscribe for that. Anyways, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this series, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that may be. Goodbye.